a northern hemisphere constellation running eastward from the Square of Pegasus. One of the stars of the Square of Pegasus has now been assigned to Andromeda and is its brightest star. Andromeda has 4 brightish stars that make it easy to locate. The eastern end of the constellation is quite near the Milky Way. Despite this, the area still boasts 2 of the brightest galaxies visible in the northern sky. Andromeda was the daughter of Cassiopeia and Cepheus, rulers of Ethiopia as the queen and the king. Andromeda was also the wife of one of the greatest heroes in Greek mythology, Perseus. The word, Andromeda, means, ruler of men, in Greek language. The most famous myth related to Andromeda in Greek mythology is about her being rescued from a great sea monster by Perseus. Her mother Cassiopeia boasted about herself saying that she was actually more beautiful than Nereids, Poseidon's sea nymphs, making Poseidon furious. The god of sea sent a sea monster to lay waste on the coast where Cepheus and Cassiopeia lived. Andromeda's father, King Cepheus, was told by an oracle that his only way to be saved from the great sea monster was to sacrifice his virgin daughter to it. Cepheus chained his daughter on a rock for the sea monster to get her, but Perseus seized the princess before the monster got to her. Perseus convinced Cepheus and Cassiopeia that he could slay the sea monster, but asked them to let him marry their daughter if he was able to save her. Perseus slew the monster and brought the princess back home safely. While Perseus and Andromeda's wedding preparations were being done, Phineus, the man to whom Andromeda was promised before she was taken as a sacrifice to the sea monster, showed up and claimed that he deserved to marry Andromeda. Perseus tried to convince Phineus that his right on Andromeda was no longer valid since she surrendered herself to death during the sacrifice, but Phineus was not convinced at all. Finally, Perseus took out Medusa's head, and Phineus and some other people who looked at her eyes turned into stone. Perseus and Andromeda had 6 sons named Mestor, Sthenelus, Alcaeus, Hellas, Perses and Electrion, and a daughter named Gorgophone. Perses is believed to be the ancestor of Persians from whom they derived their names. Perseus and Andromeda returned to island of Seriphus, where Perseus found out that King Polydectes is still after his mother and turned him into stone also by using Medusa's head. Finally, the family left the island of Seriphus and made their way into Argos, where Perseus' grandfather King Acrisius lived. They kept their settlement to the island as a secret since it would bring harm onto them if the king learned about it. One day Perseus participated in a sport competition and he was throwing discus. The discus accidentally hit his grandfather with it and killed him, and fulfilled the prophecy about King Acrisius being killed by his grandson one day. Perseus inherited the kingdom of Argos since he was the grandson of King Acrisius, but he did not want it since he killed his grandfather even by an accident. He traded the kingdom of Argos with Megapenthe, receiving the kingdom of Tiryns in exchange. The Andromeda Galaxy, also known as Messier 31 or NGC 224, is a spiral galaxy, approximately 2.5 million light-years from the Earth. It is the nearest major galaxy to the Milky Way and was often referred to as the Great Andromeda Nebula. While Andromeda is the largest galaxy in the local cluster, it may not be the most massive. The Milky Way is thought to contain more dark matter, which could make it much more massive. Since it is the nearest spiral galaxy to us, astronomers use the Andromeda Galaxy to understand the origin and evolution of such galaxies. The Andromeda Galaxy is approaching the Milky Way at approximately 100 to 140 kilometers per second. The Andromeda Galaxy has a very crowded double nucleus. Not only does it have a massive star cluster right at its heart, but it also has at least one supermassive black hole hidden at the core. The spiral arms of the Andromeda Galaxy are being distorted by gravitational interactions with 2 companion galaxies, Messier 32 and Messier 110. The Andromeda Galaxy has at least 2 spiral arms, plus a ring of dust that may have come from the smaller galaxy M32. Astronomers think that it may have interacted more closely with Andromeda several 100 million years ago, when M32 plunged through the heart of its larger neighbor. There are at least 450 globular clusters orbiting in and around the Andromeda galaxy. Some of them are among the most densely populated globulars ever seen. The Andromeda galaxy is the most distant object you can spot with the naked eye. You need a good spot away from bright lights in order to see it. Messier 32, a dwarf elliptical galaxy approximately 2.65 million light-years distant. Messier 32 was the first elliptical galaxy ever discovered. It is a satellite galaxy to the Andromeda galaxy. M32 is small, but quite bright, and can easily be seen in a small telescope. It is located 22 arc-minutes south of Andromeda's central region. M32 is about 6.5 kilolight-year in diameter and mostly contains old stars, with no star formation going on inside the galaxy. It has a supermassive black hole in its center. The mass of the black hole is estimated to be between 1.5 and 5 million solar masses. Messier 110, also known as NGC 205, is a dwarf elliptical galaxy that is a satellite of the Andromeda galaxy. Messier 110 was observed and described by Charles Messier in 1773 together with the Andromeda galaxy and other objects he discovered, but M110 was not included on his original list of objects. NGC 891, also known as Caldwell 23, is an edge-on-unbarred spiral galaxy about 30 million light-years away in the constellation Andromeda. It was discovered by William Herschel on October 6, 1784. The object is visible in small to moderate-sized telescopes as a faint elongated smear of light with a dust lane visible in larger apertures. NGC 7662, also known as the Blue Snowball Nebula. It is a planetary nebula located in the Andromeda constellation. NGC 7662 is a popular planetary nebula for casual observers. A small telescope will reveal a star-like object with slight nebulosity. NGC 752, also known as Caldwell 28, is an open cluster. The large cluster lies 1,300 light-years away from the Earth and is easily seen through binoculars, although it may approach naked eye visibility under good observing conditions. A telescope reveals about 60 stars no brighter than 9th magnitude within NGC 752. Alpha Andromedae. The brightest star in Andromeda is Alpheratz, sometimes also known as Sirac. It lies 97 light-years from Earth. Beta Andromedae is a cool, bright red class M giant, approximately 200 light-years distant. It is 1,900 times more luminous than the Sun and 3 to 4 times more massive. Gamma Andromedae is the third brightest star in the constellation and also another binary star. The brighter component of all match, Gamma 1, is a golden yellow giant, while the companion is blue. They lie approximately 10 arcseconds apart. The primary star is a Class K bright giant. It has an apparent magnitude of 2.26 and is about 355 light-years distant. It is 2,000 times more luminous than the Sun. The fainter companion star, Gamma 2, is itself a binary star, consisting of 5th and 6th magnitude white dwarf stars. The brighter component, a spectrograph will reveal, is also a double star. Pi Andromedae is another binary star, approximately 660 light-years distant. R Andromedae is a Mira-type variable star. RX Andromedae is a Z Camelopardalis type variable star. 56 Andromedae is a binary star consisting of two magnitude 6 components.